So if you want to start just by introducing yourself, the name of your show, and when is it on to the camera, that would be great.
Sure. Hello there, I'm Stuart Goldsmith. My show is called Extra Life. It's a stand-up comedy show about wanting a baby and being terrified it's going to screw up my life. And it's on at 7 o'clock every night in the Pleasance Courtyard.
And how's your Fringe Festival going so far?
It is going really stupidly well. I'm having a great time. This is my 20th Fringe. I used to be a street performer here years and years ago. So I was a street performer for 10 years. I've been doing stand-up for 10 as well. There's a sort of overlap in the middle. And I finally cracked it. And it turns out the secret is don't drink. Well, I mean, I've been letting myself have one drink a night. Okay. Exercise during the day. Eat properly. And there was another one, I can't remember. Don't read any reviews, because I love knowing what's going on. I do a podcast as well where I interview comics about their writing process, and sort of like inside the actor's studio for comedians. So I really like to keep abreast of what's going on, but I sacrificed an element of that this year in order to not read any reviews, and my God, it's made such a difference.
And so you're kind of just enjoying the festival for what it is?
Yeah, I'm seeing loads of shows, I'm doing loads of gigs, I'm doing my own show I'm in love with. It's my 4th hour and it's easily the best one I've done. So just every time, even when I'm knackered, like now I'm fairly tired, but in a couple of hours I'm going to do the show, and I know that when I walk off stage I'm just going to come off full of energy, and I love it. It's great.
In terms of being a street performer, what kind of stuff did you do?
I used to get 10 guys out of the audience to do a tug of war with a rope, and then I'd walk on the rope and balance in the middle and eat a packet of crisps.
That was for every year for 10 years?
No, that was the last 4 of them.
Okay.
I did a double act before that where we would jump over the head of the tallest man in the audience into a cup of water.
So do you feel like it's been like a steady rise up from the streets of Edinburgh to like a venues, or is
it's very different. I wouldn't say it's a rise up.
No, of course.
Yeah, I really respect the form of street performing, and there's a lot of incredible acts out there. It's just a sort of, for me, it was a case of doing less stuff and refining it and doing so it's more talk and more ideas, because the street performing is brilliant, but you can easily fall into the trap of doing the same thing and refine, not that it's even a trap, but you refine the same show over and over again for hundreds of thousands of performances. But with stand-up, of course, you bring in a new hour every year, so to get a new hour you've got to write you probably end up writing an hour and 42 hours and then ditching loads of it and then ending up with that, so you're constantly turning over material on that.
And you say with your podcast you interview kind of the comedians about their writing process. Has that happened to you? Have you picked up tips from doing that?
Absolutely. There's all sorts of levels. Like in the first 10 episodes, I've done 88 episodes now, so the first 10 I was kind of going, oh, this is great, oh yeah, you could do that, and it's actually quite useful. If you cafe hop rather than sit in a cafe, then that's quite useful. So little technical tricks, or here's a method for unpacking all the funny stuff in an idea. And then there was a period after that where I was like, oh wow, I sort of got meta learning out of it, going, okay, this is a whole different approach. And then there's another level of it on top of that, more recently, where I've been going, oh right, okay, it's almost like a martial arts, say, and I don't know anything about martial arts, but I imagine that it's like you learn all the technique and then you forget all the technique, but it's all about flow. And I sort of feel like I'm getting closer to that sort of understanding.
I think that eventually you're just going to be like one with comedy, right?
Yeah, I'm just going to turn into a sphere and then just kind of hover, and then I'll just glow and laughs will come out of me. Yeah.
And in terms of your show, you said it's about trying to have a baby.
Yeah, it's not about trying to have one, it's about trying to make the decision whether or not to have one. Because I'm really broody, I've been broody for years, and now I'm about one step below spontaneous asexual reproduction. I'm just like, give me a child. But at the same time, I've worked hard to design a life that I really enjoy, with a lot of freedom and a lot of interesting work all over the planet, and if I have a kid, that's going to drastically change all of that.
And what kind of audience is that attracted to? The kind of show?
All sorts. I mean, the thing is, for me, one of the my first 3 hours were heavily theme driven, so it was really trying to explore an idea and solve something. With this one, I started not doing that, deliberately just going, this is all my funniest stuff from the last 2 years. I didn't do a new hour last year, so it's 2 hours worth of all my funniest stuff about snipers and my grandmother and shopping and Wales and toast, and you know what I mean, there's all this kind of stuff. And then gradually what happened much later on in the process is it kind of coalesced into, oh actually what this is about is the fact I'm spending a lot of time on my own, having these thoughts and doing weird stuff, and realising actually I want the next thing out of my life. So in terms of who it appeals to, there's certainly 50-year-olds in there having a chuckle at my ludicrous imaginings of what it would be like to have children from the perspective of not having them. But then there's also younger people in there as well who are just enjoying all of the jokes and sort of, coming along for the ride.
And obviously someone who knows their comedy writing, Who would you recommend as someone to see you think their writing process is really good and what they get out of the show?
Well, in terms of people I've interviewed, someone like Sarah Pascoe has got an incredible approach to writing, and I mean, my show is available from comedianscomedian.com, and I don't remember what episode number she is, but you can download the episode and listen to it yourself. She's got a wonderful, incredibly rich approach to describing it. It's like, you know, some comics wait for something funny to happen to them and then tell that story, and it's a funny thing that happened. She can sort of appear to get that out of just picking up a glass and thinking a thing, having an emotion connected to it. She can get stuff out of that without having for it to be some big slapstick and then this bloke on the bus said whatever. So certainly her, but then there's loads of people I haven't interviewed yet, although I hope to, who, the two shows that have blown me away so far have been Matt Ewins, who does a show called The $6 Million Ewins, which is about him he's a secret agent, and he's died and come back to life, and there's a bomb in the venue and he's got an hour to find the bomb, and it's just idea upon idea upon idea. It's mental, and he needs more of an audience because he's got that kind of twisty quirk of comedy inside him that he can't get interviewed seriously, so he just tells people rubbish about the show, makes up his name, pretends the show's on at a different time somewhere else, and that's hilarious. It's really funny to then watch those things being published in whatever media, but it's hard for him to promote the stuff, you know, with that approach. So I would say Matt Ewins, and the other one, who I'll be staggered if he doesn't win something or get nominated for something this year, is Joseph Morpurgo, who has the most fertile and exciting comedy imagination I think I've ever come across. In 20 Fringes.
Wow.
Oh my God. I mean, I don't want to give away a single thing. You know, I went in knowing that I wouldn't know what to expect, and I sat there going, I still don't know what this is. Oh my God, it's this. Oh my God, it's this. And it was incredible, just incredible.
That's great, Phil. Thank you very much for your time.
No worries. I really must talk more about myself next time rather than picking up everyone else.